Hi to you watching this video. So for this video, we're going to discuss about topographic surveying and mapping. So this module will explain and illustrate the uses of topographic map, methods of plotting contour lines, characteristics of contours, types of contours in topographic map symbols. Okay. So what is a topographic survey? So a topographic survey is a survey that gathers data about the elevation of points on a piece of land and represent them as contour lines on a plot. The purpose of a topographic survey is to locate or is to collect survey data about the natural and man-made features of the land as well as its elevation. And a topographic survey is also used to determine the relative locations of points or places on Earth's surface by measuring horizontal distances, differences in elevations, and directions. And topographic maps give the location of places of the observed features, and they serve as a base map. Okay, so a topographic survey is actually, or topographic map is a basic map wherein you're going to see there of the elevation of a terrain and the location of certain objects, whether it be a man-made or uh, natural features of the land. For example, puno, yan, trees. You have your, for example, wells. You have a house. Okay, so may it be artificial or natural. So we can locate their exact location. Okay, and a topographic map is a good representation of the actual sa papel. Okay, so in the paper we will be seeing the terrain of a certain location in a top view or what we call the bird's eye view. Okay, so like for example, what is this? This may be a line, but if we are to look at it closely, if we will be having more information. This is actually this is actually an elevation of a certain area. Okay, so this might be the highest. This may be the lowest. Okay, it depends. But for this case, kulang pa yung information natin. Okay? So, producing topographic maps. So, if I believe somehow you were able to see maps like this. Okay? So, this is an example of a topographic map. So, if you're going to check it here, nakikita natin somehow nagkakaroon tayo ng idea what is or how does a certain area looks like. So, for example, itong mountain na to, na-imagine natin. Okay? Then, there are points here. These points are the elevation. The higher the number, the higher the elevation. So, since here, on this area, on this Goat Island mountain, we can see that the highest value is 7,288. Therefore, that is the peak. Okay? And habang lumalayo tayo sa 7,288, nagdi-decrease yung number. Therefore, ibig sabihin, this is the highest, and habang lumalayo tayo, pababa ng pababa yung terrain. Like a mountain should be. Tama ba? Kasi wala namang mountain na pailalim. Di ba? So, hindi mountain ang tawag natin doon. So, if you're going to check it here, these lines are representing the elevation at that point. Okay? So, at this line, itong mga line na to, ibig sabihin yan, iisa lang yung shade niya. The elevation on this line is 5,200 feet above sea level. Okay? Another one, we have here the 6,800. So, the 6,800, ibig sabihin, the elevation of this line is 6,800 above sea level. Okay? So, yan. So, this is a topographic map. Okay. So, what other features can we see? We can see a river. Okay? So, mayroong shelter dito. Ano pa ba? We can see a white river road here. So, we can see the features of a certain area. So, yan. It should be present. Okay? And take note, these are all scaled because this survey is was done with the help of geometry. Okay? So, nakascale din lahat ng mga yan. So, kung ano yung location yan sa actual, yan din yung exact location yan dito sa drawing. So, constructing a topographic profile. So, topographic maps or profiles. So, topographic maps shows a bird's eye view on of the landscape. So, if we're going to see it on a top view, pag nasa taas kayo ng mountain, ganito ang itsura niyan. But if you are nandito tayo sa lupa and nakaharap ka dun sa bundok, ganito ang itsura niyan. Okay? So, if we are to view it on a top view or bird's eye view, ganito na ang magiging itsura niyan. So from actual, we are transcribing it to a topographic map. Okay? So at etong point na to, this level here, ang elevation natin is 50. This level here, tong mga to, ang elevation natin dito is 40. This 30 here, ang elevation natin is 30. Okay? So, dito, magigets nyo na, kaya pala, yung 6,800 na yan, lahat ng lines ng 6,008 ng shade na yan is 6,800. Okay? Kasi, yung elevation natin at that point is 6,800. So, sa lahat ng points na yon. Okay? Do you get it? So, at this point, the elevation is 10. So, lahat ng dadaanan ng 10 na yan, the elevation is 10. And if we are to transfer it on our top view, dito siya. Okay? Then we can now create our topographic map. So, establishing vertical and horizontal control of for accurately defining location. Next, representation of relief. In geography, relief refers to the highest and lowest elevation points in an area. Okay? Mountains and ridges are typically the highest elevation points. So, sa mountain, of course, we know what a mountain is, and ridges, yan yung mga highest points natin. While valleys and low-lying area, while valleys and other low-lying areas are the lowest. Okay? So, by gravity, for example, meron tayong water, by gravity, magagaling yan sa pinakataas papunta sa downstream or sa pinakamababa. Okay? So, the peak, we call that typically it is a mountain and ridges, and the lowest point would be a valley in other low-lying areas. Okay, so it is important for us to recall mountain and valley is because that will help us create our topographic map easily. So methods of representing relief. So spot heights, so spot elevations. So the elevation of important features and critical points such as road junctions, peaks, summits, sags, and highway crossings indicated on map. Hills and road junctions are often identified by these numbers such as Hill 255, Road Junction 121, and etc. Okay? So yan. So we have here our points. Okay. Next, we have the hackers. Hackers are an older mode of representing relief. They show orientation of slope. And by their thickness and overall density, they provide a general sense of steepness. Being non-numeric, they are less useful to a scientific survey than contours. Okay? I repeat, being non-numeric, kasi if you're going to see, nagkaka-idea ka kung ano yung itsura ng terrain natin or nung area natin. But, we do not have the elevation. Okay? We do not have scientific data. Therefore, it is less useful compared to a contour map. So, but can successfully communicate quite specific shapes of the terrain. Kaya kung titignan mo, if you're going to see here, you can imagine how it looks like on the top view. Okay? And paano yung elevation natin. Okay. Next, form lines. So, lines resembling contours but representing no actual elevations have been sketched from visual observations. or from inadequate or unreliable map sources. To show collectively the configuration of the terrain, usually represented as dashed line and do not portray any actual elevation. So, ito yon. So, ito, pinapakita lang na ganyan yung itsura uh, nung top view, but in reality, it has no elevation. Okay? It has no certain elevation. It is just to show us, give us more on the aesthetic view or the actual view. Okay? Next is contour lines. Okay? So, dito tayo mas magpo-focus. So, contour lines are the greatest distinguishing feature of a topographic map. So, contour lines are lines drawn on a map connecting points of equal elevation. So, equal elevation at this point and equal elevation at this point. So, let's say this is 10. The elevation at this point is equivalent to the elevation of this point. Lahat ng points along this line, ang elevation niyan ay 10. Ngayon, meron na akong points, then, i-connect ko na siya ng line or ng smooth curve. Okay? Then, yan na yon. That is my contour line with an elevation of, let's say, 10. Okay? Point. Meaning, if you physically followed a contour line, elevation would remain constant. So, constant yan. At this point, sundan mo yung line na yan, elevation yan is 10. Etong point na to, the elevation here, let's say that is 50. All throughout this line, the elevation should be 50. Then, if you're going to see pataas ng pataas yung number, therefore, pataas ng pataas yung elevation. So, if you're going to see that, makikita mo na yung, or if you're going to tilt it somehow, makikita mo na ito yung bundok, pataas tayo na pataas. So, these contour lines are giving us a 3-dimension view will give us a 3-dimension view. Okay? So, yan. Naging 3-dimension na siya. Because we already know the elevation with respect to its top or its bird's eye view. Okay? Contour lines show elevation and the shape of the terrain. They're useful because they illustrate the shape of the land surface, its topography on the map. Okay? So, you have here the index contour. Ito mga dark shades. You have a normal contour line. Of course, this is still a contour line, no? But index ang tawag natin kasi mas darker shade siya. And yeah. And it has a constant interval. Okay? Kung titignan mo, ang interval natin is 100, 200, 300. So, if you're going to get the difference, the interval is by hundreds. And we have the contour interval. So, the contour interval is the contour line in between the index contour. Okay? So, yan. Next is layer tinting. So, a method of showing relief on maps and charts by coloring different levels in different shades. Okay? So, kung titignan mo yung map natin, habang pataas ng pataas yung elevation natin, mas nagiging darker. Habang pababa ng pababa yung elevation natin, nagiging lighter. So, doon tayo nagkakaroon ng shades. The higher the darker the shade, the higher is the height above the sea level. The altitudes represented by each tint are indicated on the maps and charts, sometimes referred to as the elevation tint or layer tint. Shading. Relief shading involves the use of shadows to emphasize the topography of a terrain. Okay, next would be hill shading. So hill shading is a technique for creating relief maps showing the topographical shape of hills and mountains using shading. Levels of gray actually. So on a map, just to indicate relative shapes, slopes, mountain ridges, not absolute height. Okay, so shading is just emphasizing the elevation of high or the emphasizing the height or higher elevation. Okay, so this is an example of hill shading. Okay. Relief or terrain model. A global relief model, sometimes also denoted as global topography model or composite model, combines digital elevation model or DEM data over land with digital bathymetry model, data over water covered areas such as ocean, lakes to describe the Earth's relief. Okay, so here, yeah, it is a combination of technology. So parang mas na-visualize yung yung to na-describe yung relief ng Earth, okay? Below water covered areas. Okay? So ridge and streamlining used to emphasize the location of low and high ground. So this method is used on aerial photographs. When streams are lined, the main stream and other tributaries are first selected and are drawn in blue solid lines. Okay? Between the streams is higher ground. To emphasize this, brown dashed lines are drawn along the main ridges. Okay? Next would be subaqueous contour. Okay? So yeah, this is an example of subaqueous contour. Okay? So if you're going to check the image, the higher the area, the sharper the resolution would be. Okay? And the lower the area, the lower the resolution would be. And for water, the deeper the water, the deeper the waterbed is, the darker the color of the water. Okay? The contour lines. So what are the characteristics of a contour line? So a contour line is a line of equal elevation. So we have explained that a while ago. Two different lines must indicate two different elevation. So hindi pwedeng dalawa yung contour line mo pero iisa yung elevation nila. That could not happen. Okay? So if you have two different contour line, therefore you have two different elevation. Otherwise, contact each other except at the point where a vertical or overhang surface, such as vertical or overhanging face of cliff. If there is a cliff, then therefore magkakaroon tayo ng miscontinued sa ating miscontinued uh, ng line sa ating contour. So figure 19-16 shows an overhanging cliff. Okay? So if we have where is our overhanging cliff? Wait. Ito, overhanging cliff. This is our overhanging cliff. So there is a overhang here. So if that would be the case, then we are to connect it with a hidden line or a dash line. Okay? Next would be, aside from exception mentioned, at any point where two different contour lines intersect would be a point with no different elevation. I repeat, any point where two different contour lines intersect would be a point with no different elevation. Okay? Hindi hindi mag-iba yung elevation nila. Okay? Or gusto mo lang may i-emphasize sa elevation na yun, then it is possible to have two. Okay? But it doesn't mean that they have different elevations. So when you are forming a mental image of the surface configuration from a study of contour lines, it is helpful to remember that a contour line is a level line. That is, a line that would be formalized by a horizontal plane passing through the earth at the indicated elevation. Okay, so for example, yung in-explain lang dyan is wait, let me check yung nauna nating image sa taas kanina. Okay, so ito. Imagine, let's say at elevation P50, meron kang square area. Ngayon, ikakat mo yung area na yon through this point. If you are going to have your cut at that point, ito yung makikita mong image at the top view. Now, if you have your cutting plane, ika-cut mo at this level, 40, ito ang makikita mo sa top view. Okay? So, itong 40. If you have 10, if you have a cutting plane, ika-cut mo siya dito sa 10, ito yung makikita mo sa top view. Okay? This is how it is going to look like. So, yun lang naman yung in-explain dun sa sentence na yun. Okay? So, moving on. When you are forming, then a contour line must close on itself somewhere, either within or beyond the boundaries of the map. A line that appears on the map completely closed may indicate either a summit or a depression. So it will always be a case na magko-close at magko-close yung contour line mo. Okay? Whether nasa loob ng map or nasa labas. So if this is our contour map, so we are to imagine that it will close like this. Okay? So it will also close like this. Okay? Because that is take note, ang sinasurvey natin dyan is an actual image. So, meron at meron yan sa existing. So, nag-start ka somewhere, you're going to end somewhere. Okay? Okay. So, if the line indicates a depression, this fact is sometimes shown by a succession of short Hackure lines drawn perpendicular to the inner side of the line. An example of depression is shown. Then for a summit, okay, this is a depression pababa. For a summit, it is going up. Okay, this one going up, then pababa tayo dito. Nandito yung 115, 110, 105, so pababa tayo. So this is a depression. So for a gentle hill naman, if you can see na malalayo yung distance nung ating contour because hindi masyadong slopey. Now, if it is kind of slopey or it is steep like what we have here, magkakalapit yung contour lines natin. Our contour lines are near from each other, indicating that it is a steep slope. Okay? Now, you have a dome-shaped hill dito because you have almost a dome, okay, or circular. And you have here a ridges. So, you have here at a higher elevation than yung what if imagine niyo yung flow ng water. So, yung magiging flow ng water would be this way, and would also be this way. So, that's why it is ridge. Now, if it is a stream, it is going towards a common depression, okay? Or common line. And that line is the lowest point possible because it is a stream. So, if imagine mo yung tubig, manggagaling sa taas ng bundok, pababa yan sa lowest point. And yung lowest point will always be the stream. Okay? Kaya, doon lalabas yun yung water exit natin. Okay? So, we have here a stream junction. Nagkaroon ka ng junction. You have here a saddle. So, you have here pababa dito, pababa, then dito, pababa, then dito yung highest point. Okay, so it is going down on different direction. So overhang cliff, you have here a street, ditch 6 inch deep, 6 feet deep, and you have ditch 2-inch deep. So mas malalim ito. We have a deeper ditch here compared to this one, basing on the figure. Okay, so mas deep ito compared dito. Okay, so map scales and contour intervals. So a topographic map is called either large scale, intermediate scale, or small scale by the use of the following data. If it is a large scale, we are going to use our scaling as 1 inch in our map, and that is equivalent to 100 feet or less in actual. For intermediate scale, it is ranging from 1 inch is to 100 feet to 1 inch is to 1,000 feet. Now, for small scale, it is 1 inch to 1,000 feet or more. Okay? So, the design contour intervals varies with purpose and scale of map and the character of the terrain. table down below shows the recommended contour intervals used to prepare the topographic map. So ano ba yung sinasabi nating intervals? Yung intervals is the spacing. It is the spacing between your contour line. Okay? That is the spacing. So, if it is a large scale, pag flat yung terrain natin, okay na yung 0.5 or 1. If it is a rolling terrain, it is from 1 or 2. If it is a hilly, it is 2 or 5 in feet. Okay. Next would be the intermediate scale. If it is a flat scale, if it is flat, the terrain is flat, it is 1, 2, or 5. If it is a rolling terrain, it is 2 or 5. If it is a hilly, it is 5 or 10. For small scale, if it is flat, it is 2, 5, or 10. If it is a rolling, it is 10 or 20. If it is hilly, it is 20 or 50. If it is mountainous, it is 50, 10, or 200. Okay? Next would be contour map construction. So basically, the construction of a contour map consists of three operations. Number one, plot horizontal control that will serve as the framework of the map. Number two, plot details including the map location of ground points of known ground elevation. So these ground points on contour or contour points will be used as guides for proper location of the contour lines. Number three, construct contour lines at given contour intervals. Okay, so una, we need to plot our um, horizontal control. Yun yung magsaserve na guide natin. Then after which, we're now going to include ground points and the location of those points. Like not just points, but actual, not actual, but objects, the location of objects and their elevation. Okay, so, and after which, we can now construct our contour lines. And take note, take special care in the field to locate the ridge and the valley lines because these lines are usually drawn first on the map because it will serve as a big guide in constructing our contour map. Bakit? Kasi mostly nandun yung for summit nandun yung ating highest elevation and for depression nandun yung ating lowest point. So that will help us largely sa pag-construct ng ating contour map. So, figure 19-28, you have here the plotting of actual contour points. Okay? Ito yon, yung actual contour points natin. So, we plot our contour points. Okay? Then, since our contours ordinarily change direction sharply with the where they cross these lines and the slopes of the ridges and valleys are fairly uniform. So take note, but it depends on the stiffness of stiffness of the ground. So kung mas steep yung slope natin, mas malalapit yung contour lines natin. But if it is not that slopey, then medyo magkakalayo yung contour lines. Okay, so these lines aid in drawing the correct contour lines. So after plotting the ridge and the valley lines, space contour crossing along them before making any attempt to interpolate or to draw the complete contour lines as shown in figure 19-28. Okay? So, yeah, nagkaroon na tayo dito ng spacing ng contours natin. So, if you're going to check here dito, though it is not that very clear, no? Because this was taken from the book. So, kung titignan nyo, hindi ganun ka-clear, but pwede na. So, ito yung ating contour lines. Then, ito yung ating mga contour intervals. Okay? Then yan. So, we can now, we're also going to plot the elevation. So, kung ano yung magkakadugtong, yun yung, or kung ano yung magkakapares na elevation, yun yung ipagdudugtongin natin ng smooth curve. Okay? So, next, draw your contour lines freehand with contour pen to yield uniform widths. Leave breaks in the lines to provide spaces for the elevations. Write the elevation numbers, so they may read from one or two sides of the map. Okay? So after which, of course, lalagyan natin ng elevation para the reader can interpret kung ano yung itsura no contour lines natin, given that the largest value would be the highest point and the lowest value would be the lowest point. So next, show spot elevations at important points such as road or road intersections and etc. Okay? Interpolating contour lines. So interpolating contour lines, these are contour lines that were not, or these are ground points that were not taken from the field. Rather, they will be taken mathematically. Okay, so kukunin natin siya mathematically. We will solve these elevations and location with respect to our gathered data. Of course, hindi naman natin isosolve yan ng basta sinolve lang natin. There is a basis for that. So in the examples of interpolation previously given, a single contour line was interpolated between 2 points of known elevation, a known horizontal distance apart, by mathematical computation. In actual practice, usually more than one line must be interpolated between a pair of points, and large numbers of lines must be interpolated between many pairs of points. Mathematically, computation for the location of each line would be time-consuming and would be used only in a situation where contour lines had to be located with an unusually high degree of accuracy. Okay, so kung gusto natin ng high degree of accuracy, then we can have our interpolation of contour lines. But if it is not necessary, we try to avoid it. Why? Because it is very time consuming. Imagine, magdodrawing ka ng maraming lines. Okay? So, magdodrawing ka ng maraming lines na hindi mo naman kailangan. So, as much as possible, we try to avoid that. But if it is necessarily needed, then we construct our contour interpolation. Okay? So, figure 19-30 shows the use of engineer's transit. The scale to interpolate the contours at 2 feet intervals between A and B. The difference in the elevation A and B is between 11 and 12 feet. So the difference in elevation between A and B is between 11 and 12 feet. Okay? So select the scale on the engineer's scale that has 12 graduations for a distance and comes along that comes close to matching the distance between A and B on the map. Okay, so in figure 19-30, this is the 20 scale. Okay, so this is the 20 scale. So let 0 mark on the 20 scale represent 530 feet. So dito yung 0 scale, 530 feet. Then the 0.2 mark on the scale will represent the 530.2. So that is the 530.2. The elevation of A placed on this mark on A as shown. So if mark 0 on the scale represents 530 feet, then 11.7 mark represents 541.7. So the elevation here is 541.87. And take note, there is a difference of two scale here. So you have here 530, 532. Though the difference here is not exactly 2, no? Pero dito, as much as possible, we try to have a constant offset. Okay, so the offset here is 2 feet. The offset here is also 2 feet. Between 536 and 538, the offset is 2 feet, 2 feet, and 2 feet as well. So it is a constant offset. Okay, so the elevation B of B, which is 571. So ito yun. So place the scale at a convenient angle to the line from A to B as shown, and draw a line from 11.7 mark to B. So 11.7 up to point B. Okay. Then you can now project the desired contour line locations from the scale to the line from A to B. The line from A to B. So we can now draw our scale graduation. and it is parallel to the line of 11.7 to B. Okay? So yan, ito na yung ating contour. This is our scale. This is our distance from elevation of A to B. Then this is now our contour. So pag i-imagine natin yan, for example, it is a circle, almost circle. Pag ganyan yung magiging itsura ng ating contour lines, okay? Unfortunately, for the activity, we will only be limited for the activity for this one because yung paggawa ng contour line, supposedly sa fieldwork, you will be surveying different ground elevations. Then from there, you're going to create your contour map. But it is quite difficult in our current situation to have that and to construct a contour map without even realizing it on the field. So our activity for this module will be quite limited. Okay. So interpolating contour lines with scale. So figure 19-31 shows a graphic method of interpolating contour lines. On a transparent sheet, draw a succession of equidistant parallel lines. Number the lines as shown in the left margin. The 10th line is number 1, the 20th number 2, and so on. So that the interval between each pair of adjacent lines represent 0.1 feet. Okay, so for example, dito naman gagamitin natin is graphical method. Okay, so for ito, the difference in distance between a line is according to the problem, it is 0.1 feet. Okay? So this is 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet. So we are going to use graphical method. Itong ano natin, itong graph natin is a well-graded graph. So equidistant silang lahat. Magkakaparehas yung distance from one point to another. Then, ilalapat natin siya sa ating nagkuhang data. Okay, which is point A to point B. The elevation of point A is 501.7 and the elevation of point B is 506.2. Now, how are we going to get or how are we going to determine yung location of this different elevation? So, since meron tayong graphical method, ilalapat lang natin yung 501.7 at i-exact natin yung 1.7 dito, which is more or less ito. So itatapat natin sa 1.7. So tanggalin muna natin yung 500. Okay, so 1.7, then tumapat naman si 6.2. Now, kung saan matapat si 5, yun na yung 505. And that is the location of 505. Next, 504. So, this is 4. Saan siya tatapat? Okay, so this is elevation 504. Then si 3, kung saan siya tatapat, this would be elevation 503. And si 2, saan siya tatapat, this would be elevation 502. Now, pag mas maliit yung scale mo, definitely mas maliit yung intervals. Okay? So, this time it is 0.2 rather than 0.1. So again, same. 1.7 is located somewhere here. So it should be at the same point with 1.7. Then 1.6 is located, 6.2 is located here. So dapat nakatapat. Then from there, you can now match the horizontal, project it horizontally then kung saan tatama sa line na hinahanap natin, then that would be elevation of the unknown. Okay, so project it horizontally kung saan tumapat sa known or sa ating observed data, then that would be the elevation. So yan. Okay. Locating contour lines by interpolation. So the map distance between two marks A and B is 15 centimeter, and their elevations above sea level are 850 meter. So, and 939 meter respectively. Assuming uniformly sloped between A and B, calculate the map distance from A, where each of the following contours will cross the line between the two benchmarks, 860, 880, 900, and 920. So, the elevation of point A here, the elevation of point A here is 850.50 meters, and the elevation of point 4 here is 939.60 meter. By the way, this is already a problem, no? So let us try to solve. So basically, if you're going to check here, you have here the horizontal distance is 16 centimeters. So ang gagawin natin dito is hahanapin natin, actually nalipat na siya sa ano, it's already in the paper. So hahanapin natin yung horizontal location netong mga elevation na to. Elevation 860, 880, 900, and 920. Okay, so the elevation of point A above sea level is 850.5 meters, and the elevation of point what's this of point B, I think, yeah, that's point B, yeah, of point B is 939.60 centimeter. So ang gagawin natin, hanapin yung horizontal distance of H1, H2, H3, and horizontal distance H4, which is 920. Okay, so the difference in elevation between point A and point B is 939.60 minus 850, and that is 89.10 meters. Okay, next, for the difference in elevation 1, take note our elevation 1, elevation na hinahanap natin, no, it's not hinahanap, that was given to us is 860. So 860 DE1 is equivalent to 860 minus the lowest elevation. So higher over, higher minus lower, so we can get a positive value. So 860, so 860 minus 850, 860, 880, 900, 920. Okay, so 860 minus 850.5, we have a difference of in elevation of 950 meters. Now for DE2, we have 880. Take note, this was given 880 minus 850. So 880 minus 850 is equivalent to 29.50 meters. Now next is 900. This was given. So 900 minus 850. So the difference in elevation, ito yon, yung difference in elevation between point 3 and yung A natin is equivalent to 49.50. So that is 900 minus 850, that is 49.50. And distance in elevation number 4, this is 920. 920 minus 850.5. And DE4, ito yun, DE4, this is what we're solving. DE4 is equivalent to 920 minus 850.5, that is equivalent to 69.50 meters. We're not yet done, okay? So we just got the DE, the difference in elevation. So to determine the horizontal distance, okay, so determine the horizontal distance, we have, or we use the equation, the difference in elevation between points, points na hinahanap natin, or contour interval, divided by the difference in elevation between the highest and the lowest point, times the horizontal distance, which is h. So DE, small de, minus capital DE times h. So para makasolve natin si h1, ano ba yung small de natin? DE is 9.5 divided by the capital DE, which is 89.10, times the horizontal distance. So, nangyari, we have 9.5. Ito yun, 9.5 divided by 89.10 times the horizontal distance of 15. Okay? Therefore, it is 1.599. So more or less, it is 1.6 centimeter from A. So the horizontal distance of elevation 90, elevation 880, yeah, 800, wait, that's 860 rather. The elevation of 860, the horizontal distance of the elevation 860 from A is 1.6 centimeter. Okay, if you're going to plot that in your paper. Now for H2, the small h, we have, the small DE, we have 29.5 divided by the capital DE times the horizontal distance of 15. So 29.5 divided by 89.10 times 15. And that is equivalent to H2. And yung H2 natin is 4.966 from point A. And that is 5 centimeter from the map. So that is 5 centimeter from A. Then for H3, ganun din. We have the small DE divided by the capital DE. So 49.5 divided by 89.10. 89.10 times the horizontal distance of 15. That is 8.33 centimeter. So 8.3 centimeter from A. So this is 8.3 centimeter. And lastly, we have H4. So the the small DE, which is 69.5, divided by the the capital DE, which is 89.10 times the horizontal distance of 15. And the answer is 11.7. And that 11.7 is coming from A. So from this point, 11.7 going right. And that is the horizontal distance of elevation 920. Okay? So, you can now plot your points. Then, from there, though this is just one part, kasi take note, isang part lang yan. So, sa ibang sa ibang view ng ating 3D, we need also to determine the location of H or the location of elevations 860, 880, 900, and 920. Pag nahanap na natin, then we can now connect the points and we can now construct our contour lines. Okay? So, take note, from the given data, it can be seen that the desired contour interval is 20 and that the uniform horizontal spacing between contour line on the map is h2 minus h1 is equivalent to h3 minus h2, h4 minus h3, and they are the same, which is equivalent to 3.4. So it should be a uniform spacing, okay, or offset. Okay, next would be determining slope from contour lines. Shown in the accompanying figure is a portion of a contour map where the contour interval is 20 meters. So the CI here is 20 meters. And if the scaled horizontal distance between points A and point B, so point A and point B, the scaled distance is 426.36 meters. And the elevation of A is 390 and the elevation of B is 300. So pababa ito. Pababa siyang ganon. Okay? So, determine the average slope between the 2 points in number 1, percent, number 2, degrees, number C, gradient, letter D, mils, and letter E, grads. Okay, so first we need to get the difference in elevation between point A and point B. The elevation at point A is 390 as per the problem. And the elevation at point B is 300. So 390 minus 300 is equivalent to 90. And that is the difference in elevation between points A and B. Now, how are we going to get the slope? Okay, so it is the vertical over horizontal times 100%. I repeat, it is the vertical divided by the horizontal times 100%. Ganun lang. So, ano yung horizontal natin? It is the difference in elevation between point A and point B. And that is 90. So, we have here 90 divided by the horizontal distance take note that 426 was given. Yan yung horizontal distance natin. Okay? So, horizontal distance of 426.36 times 100%. And yung lalabas is negative 21.11%. Bakit, bakit negative? It is negative because it is a downward slope. Take note, point A here is the starting point and point B is the finishing point. So we are going downwards. If it so happen that this is point A and this is point B, pataas ang ibig sabihin nun. So it should be positive. But on this case, since pababa tayo, it is negative. Okay? Now, for the slope in the degrees, parehas lang, vertical over horizontal. Okay. Yeah. Y over x tayo this time. Okay? Now to get that, it is equivalent to 90 over 426.36 shift tangent or arc, not shift tangent, arc tangent. Then you can now get your degrees. Now for the gradient, same. Kung ano yung decimal na lalabas, that would be the value. Vertical over horizontal. Okay? Then, for the slope in mils, just multiply it by 1,000. Vertical over horizontal, multiply by 1,000. Do not forget your units and that it is in mils. Now, for the grads, just multiply your vertical over horizontal by 63.7. And that is already in grads. Okay, but if you're not quite accustomed to this, since you have your you have your slope here, you can convert it to grads, mils, and radians. So angle times, if you have your angle, multiply it by pi over 180, you can get your radian. Okay. Now for the gradient, you also have your conversion from our previous discussion. Likewise with mils and grads. Okay, so if there are any questions, just comment down below. We are stopping here because, like what I've said, our activity for the lecture is quite limited since we are not able to conduct a actual surveying that would help us create a contour map. Okay, so medyo mahirap yan on that note. Okay, so again, if there's any question, just comment down below and we will try to answer them as soon as possible.